Hi, my name is Wong 210866970. For years, Starbucks has been more than just a coffee shop. Its green series has become a symbol of premium coffee, lifestyle, and the global cafe experience. But in China, something has changed. The coffee market is becoming more competitive, consumers are becoming more price conscious, and local brands are moving faster than ever. So, when a global coffee giants enter one of the world's fastest growing coffee markets, what happens when the markets start changing around it? This is the story of Starbucks in China. Starbucks entered China with a powerful advantage. A globally recognized brand, the company built its identity around premium coffee, comfortable cafe, and the Starbucks experience. And for a long time, this formula works. But international marketing is never just about taking a successful formula from one country and applying it somewhere else. Markets have their own cultures, consumers, and competitors. And China's coffee market is a perfect example. As local competitors grew consumer expectations changed, Starbucks found itself facing a very different competitive environment. That is why Starbucks China is the focus on this documentary. The warning signs are clear. Starbucks' position in China coffee markets has weakened significantly. According to Reuters, Starbucks' market share fell from around 24% in 2019 to 14% in 2024. At the same time, local competitors such as Luckin Coffee has expanded rapidly, and they are not simply selling cheaper coffee. They are changing the way consumers buy coffee through aggressive promotion, mobile ordering, delivery, and highly localized marketing. Suddenly, Starbucks is not longer setting the rules of the game. The market is. So, what changed? First, competition. Local brands has expanded rapidly and are competing directly for the same consumer. Second, price. Starbucks built its reputation around premium coffee, but when consumers can get a much cheaper cup of coffee somewhere, the question becomes, what makes Starbucks worth paying more for? Third, convenience. Coffee is not longer just about sitting inside a cafe. Consumers can order through an apps, collect their drinks quickly, or have it delivered. And finally, localization. Chinese consumers have their own tastes, trends, and cultural preference. Local brands can often react to these change much faster. And this creates a problem for Starbucks. Here is where the real marketing challenge appears. Starbucks' traditional strengths are clear: premium quality, a global brand, and a cafe experience. But the market is asking for something more: more value, more convenience, more digital engagement, and more local relevance. Starbucks therefore faces a difficult balancing act. If it moves too far towards low prices, it risks damaging its premium image. But if it stays exactly the same, it risks becoming less relevant to Chinese consumers. So, the question is not simply how can Starbucks beat Luckin? The real question is how can Starbucks remain Starbucks while becoming more relevant to China? Starbucks did not simply sit back and watch the market change. It responded. First, through product localization, developing products and seasonal offerings that better connect with Chinese consumers. Second, through digital and omnichannel marketing, making ordering, delivery, and digital engagement more convenient. And third, through local market expertise. In 2025, Starbucks announced a partnership with Boyu Capital aiming to combine Starbucks' global strength with deeper knowledge of the Chinese market. The message was clear. Starbucks knew it needed to become more local, but knowing you need to change and actually regaining your competitive advantage are two very different things. So, did these strategies work? The answer is partly. Product localizations can make Starbucks more relevant, but a new drinks alone cannot solve the bigger issue of price and competition. Digital marketing makes Starbucks more convenient, but when every major competitor has an apps, convenience is not longer enough to stand out. And the Boyu partnership could give Starbucks stronger local appetite, but because the partnership is still relatively new, its long-term impact remains to be seen. So, Starbucks is moving in the right direction, but direction is not the same as competitive advantage. Starbucks needs something more. So, what should Starbucks do differently? My first recommendation is simple. Localize the value, not just the product. Starbucks does not need to become lucky. Instead of entering a price war, Starbucks should keep its premium identity while giving more consumers a reason to choose it. This could mean China specific products, more accessible entry level choices, and targeted promotions rather than constant blanket discount. Starbucks could also create campaigns that connect with Chinese culture, lifestyles, and local occasions. The goal is not to make Starbucks cheaper. The goal is to make Starbucks feel more valuable and more relevant. The second opportunity is digital. Starbucks already has the technology, but instead of using digital platform mainly to make ordering easier, Starbucks could use them to understand customers better. Imagine opening the Starbucks ads and seeing recommendations based on what you actually drinks, rewards based on your habits, promotions designed for you rather than the same discount offered to everyone. This changed the role of digital marketing. It is not longer simple. Here is an easier way to buy coffee. It's become we know what you like and we have a reason for you to come back. That is how Starbucks can build loyalty without relying entirely on price. Putting this idea together, I believe Starbucks' future in China should be built around these three words: premium, local, personalized. Premium because Starbucks should protect the global brand identity that makes it different. Local because China is not simply another market where the same strategies can be repeated. And personalized because digital technology gives Starbucks the opportunity to build deeper relationship with individual customers. Together, these strategies allow Starbucks to respond to the Chinese markets without simply copying its competitors. Starbucks does not need to win by becoming the cheapest coffee brand. It needs to win by becoming the most relevant premium coffee experience for its target Chinese consumer. The Starbucks story in China shows us something important about international marketing. A global brand can have enormous strength and still lose around when the local markets change. Starbucks' challenge was not simple competition from Luckin, it was the combination of competition, price sensitivity, digitalizations, and changing consumer expectations. Starbucks has already started adapting through localization, digital marketing, and stronger local appetite. But to complete more effectively, it needs to go further. Premium, local, personalized. That is the balance Starbucks need to find. Because in international marketing, being global may get you into the market, but being relevant is what keep you there. Thank you. And this is the reference and evidence used throughout this documentary are presented here.